like, Marilyn, what the is that? And I was like, what? She said, what is that smell? Hey kitties, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I'm Marilyn and I'm bringing you all things beauty, fashion, lifestyle, a little bit of fragrance. So if you like that kind of stuff, go ahead and subscribe. Okay kitties, so in today's video, I thought it would be a cute little video to do some of my most worn fragrances or my fragrances that have the biggest dent in them. I got this idea when I posted about a scent of the day that I had. It was a Lattafa fragrance and I posted it on my community tab and someone was like, look at that dent. And I was like, girl, you're onto something. Why not make a video about my fragrances that have the biggest dent in them? So they're the most worn, obviously really loved in the collection. So let's go ahead and go through. I'm going to go through them kind of quick. We're not going to spend too long on the notes and things like that. But I'm going to go through these fragrances with you. And if you have them, I want to know what you think about it. Just, you know how we do in the comments. Let's just talk. All right, so the first fragrance, this is an old fragrance, an old launch, but I was in a chokehold for so long for this fragrance. It has ambery notes, it has a vanilla note in it. It also has water jasmine and some sort of ginger note in it. This is a feminine, it's a little sensual. To me, I find it very sexy, especially in the dry down. It has that vanilla and amber tone to it that I love, and I've had it for so long, and it's had me in a chokehold for so long. I was using it as if I didn't have any other fragrances in my collection, and it's none other than this. I don't even have the top anymore. This is Olympea and it's by Paco Robanne. This is like a classic to me. There's just a little bit left. You see that? I love this. If you have this, I want to know, okay? Because I feel like this is a classic. My mom brought this for me and I sprayed it and I was in freaking love. Nostalgia at its best. But yeah, the first one that's on the list here is Olympea. These aren't in any particular order. This is just the first one that I grabbed, and you can see the dent in this is gigantic. It's on its way out. I mean, a couple more days of wear, a couple more occasions where I can wear this to, it's going to be overdone. All right, so the next fragrance, I think this is the most underhyped fragrance that I have in my collection. It's not new, it's not very new. I've had it for, I can't think of how long I've had it, maybe a couple years, and people don't talk about this fragrance enough. I personally love the scent note of pear. So this fragrance has one of my favorite notes, which is pear, and I feel like the pear is very prominent throughout the fragrance. Like even when it dries down, you still smell it, and I love that. And again, I think it's very underrated because this is a top-notch fragrance. I don't think it lasts that long on the skin. It lasts about 5 to 6 hours, which to me isn't bad. If you love it enough, you'll just reapply it. The pear, like I said, goes through lasts throughout the entire life of the fragrance. So it has pear, there's rose in this. I believe there's a little bit of musk and a little bit of a woody tone to it. But Givenchy Irresistible. Oh, let me turn around. So Givenchy Irresistible. I'm almost out of this. Now I think with this one, because I really do love pear, I might buy this again. I saw it on one of the fragrance like discount sites, and I believe it was around $20 or so for this size. And I'm like, girl, I love this enough to buy it again. It's such a pretty fragrance. It's going to be great for the upcoming season, which is like spring and summer. This it smells so good on the skin. It's just a little juicy because of the pear, but it has like that woodiness and the musk and the dry down. It's just such a beautiful, gorgeous scent that you can wear in the hotter weather. It's so addictive. I love it. It's a juicy fragrance, and if you don't have this, I feel like this should be in everyone's collection because again, I think it's so underrated. It's such a great fragrance. Is it because I'm obsessed with pear? I don't think so. I think it's because it's just actually really good. So this is next on the list. You see the dent. Again, this bottle is almost non-existent. I'm just making room for new ones, okay? Because I have all my fragrances on like a ledge or a shelf, and if a fragrance cannot fit on there, I'm not going to buy it. So I have to wait for some of them to kind of you know, get out of here before I get new ones. I do have a couple new ones coming in the mail, but they can fit on the ledge. But as soon as I get to the point where it can't fit, then I have to kind of wait until I get new ones. And I'm rearranging my ledge now to bring some of those fragrances that stand out in the summer and spring to the front, and the more winter and fall fragrances to the back. But this, I moved her to the front. She won't be here long though. So the next fragrance, again, to me is a classic. This entire fragrance house to me has a lot of classics that are good for spring and for summer, and this one has a huge dent. It has a top note of rhubarb, whatever that is, but it's such a juicy but creamy scent. It has like rhubarb, there's almond milk in it, there's cashmere in the dry down, and it's such a soft, not too much in your face, but it does just enough. I feel like I can wear this in the daytime as well as night. I find it to be a year-round fragrance for me because I do live in Florida, so year-round it's pretty good weather here, pretty sunny a lot of times. So for me, I can wear this all year round, and it's none other than Marc Jacobs, and this is perfect. It's literally a perfect fragrance, literally perfect, and you can see by the dent. I use this. Okay, I use this. I've showed this to you guys a couple times on my channel because honestly, it's a really great fragrance, and I do love Marc Jacobs. I think they have very easy fragrances. I don't feel like they're very risky at all. They're crowd pleasers. A lot of people, I love this. A lot of people would like this fragrance, and Marc Jacobs Perfect literally is perfect for a everyday. This can be even a signature scent for someone that lives in a place that is warmer most of the time. If you're one of the girls where you get those real winters, snow, you shovel snow, you get snowed in, this might not be a signature fragrance for you. You probably prefer more cozy scents. This is a bright, uplifting fragrance. You want to get out and you want to go to brunch. You want to hang out with your friends. Yeah, that's what this is. So the next fragrance is a Middle Eastern fragrance. I haven't even had this a year. Not even a full year. I think I've had this about 6 months or so, 6 or 7 months, which is literally the beginning of my Middle Eastern sort of discoveries of when I start really getting into Middle Eastern and more affordable fragrances. This fragrance has a woody tone to it. It's vanilla, it's warm, it's spicy. It has a little bit of like an amber, I like ambery fragrances, like an ambery note to it. In the notes, I'm not going to go over all the notes, but in the notes there's fig and there's tea and there's cardamom. And this is probably one of the most relaxing scents that I have in my collection, and it's so inexpensive. It's a perfect unisex fragrance as well, but I do like it on myself. I would love it on my husband if he liked it as well. But I think this is a really good balance when it comes to unisex, and I don't think it does too much. It's really soft and it's very chill. You can wear it as a really great everyday fragrance, and it's this. It's the Lattafa Liam Gray. This is a dupe of a very expensive fragrance by a brand called BDK. I think it's called Gris Chanel or Cris Chanel, something like that. I've never smelled that, but why would I need to when I have this? Again, this is such a calming, I think it's like that tea and that fig note. It just literally makes you feel so calm. Oh, literally, you know how like when you make a cup of tea and when you hold it to your face and the steam comes up and you sort of just close your eyes and you smell it? I get that vibe from this, okay? This is a great snuggly, cuddly, chill type of fragrance. Absolutely love it. Haven't even had it that long, but I have a pretty good dent in it because I do spray it a lot. It makes me feel calm. Spray a little bit right now, girl. Yeah. The next fragrance is another Middle Eastern fragrance. It has a little bit of vanilla tone to it. It's a little powdery, a little nutty, and I spray the hell out of this. And this is none other than, this is by Paris Corner. The line is called Pear. That's really how you pronounce it, but I don't really like doing that. So I just say Cayer, the Cayer, but it's Cayer Pistachio. And let me show you the dent. I've had this just a few months. Like, look at the dent. Can y'all see it? Do you see? This bottle is maybe 70% gone. Clearly, I love this. And this gets a lot of compliments. To me, it's a soft smell, but people really do smell it. It really does project, and I love this. So this fragrance has a lot of notes. There's hazelnut, there's ice cream, there's marshmallow, there's whipped cream, pistachio. It's just a really lovely fragrance. And if you can get a fragrance that's cheaper than the original and it lasts longer than the original, you're going to spray it as much as I do, and you're going to have a dent this large on something you haven't even had. I don't even think it's been 7 months. I don't think it's even been 7 months, girl. I've been spraying the hell out of this. I might have to replace this one or maybe find a different pistachio one and see how much I like it. But this is really, really nice. It's sweet, creamy. There's a little bit of soapiness that I smell that I really like. So if you don't like soapiness, then sorry. But I happen to love that little hint of it that's in this fragrance. So another banger. So the next fragrance that we have on the list that I absolutely love, damn near addicted to it. It is a sweet candy fragrance. It has a top note of pear. I told y'all I love pear. A top note of pear, of course I love it. None other than Pear Confection. This is a dupe to Kayali's Candy Rock Sugar, and I freaking love this. You guys have seen this on my channel multiple times, so obviously I'm going to have a pretty big dent in this. Again, I've only had this a few months. That's a big deal. I've only had a few months, and the dent is very large with something I have had on my shelf for not that long because I spray it a lot. I love it. I love it. Sometimes I just walk by my shelf and I just kind of pick it up and smell it. I don't really need to put it on all the time, but just to smell it is like, oh, yeah. Really long lasting. Funny story, I wore this the other day and I went to my friend's house. I went to go pick up some food. Her mom made me some food, but anyway, yeah, went to go pick it up. So I went in the car. I was in the car and I was like, I'm outside, and she came out and she opened the door and she was like, Marilyn, what the is that? And I was like, what? She said, what is that smell? And then she slammed the door and walked around to the passenger side and got in the car. And she was like, what are you wearing? She said, why would it be that potent? And I'm like, what? Knowing good and well, I know. And I was like, oh, it's just this perfume. And she was like, girl, give me the link. Because we were in, she just put her phone out. She was like, what's the link? Because if it's on Amazon, I'm getting it. I'm getting it today. She was like, it is so potent and it smells so good. And I was like, girl. This definitely gets compliments because the projection is insane with this perfume. Insane projection. Okay, so for the next fragrance, now if you've been here before, you probably know exactly what I'm going to mention, especially after mentioning the last two. Of course, absolutely, of course, I have to mention this very popular, very viral, and viral for good reason, Felicity by Kahir or Here. Felicity is so good. This is a dupe to Kayali's Wedding Silk Santal, and this is absolutely better. I have Wedding Silk Santal in the 10 ml, of course. I got a full bottle of this because it's good. You can smell that bubbliness, the vanilla, the freesia. It's such a feminine fragrance, and it's classy, it's sophisticated. I feel like you can wear this to a wedding, and you can also wear it to a business meeting. Like, it's literally a good, very signature scent worthy. Absolutely. This is a type of perfume that you're going to continue to repurchase, and you're going to always want in your collection because you need this type of sophistication in a fragrance that is very versatile, and you can wear it through different seasons, through different occasions, night, day. It's just a perfect fragrance, and I love it. The dry down is really creamy, and you can smell like that bubbly champagne and the freesia, like I mentioned. It has a little bit of musk in this fragrance as well, and it's just so freaking good, and that's why there's a dent in it, and I haven't had this that long at all. I don't know if you guys can see the dent. Can you guys see it? This bottle's a little funny, so hopefully you can see it, but definitely there's a dent. All right, so the last fragrance on my list has I think this has the biggest dent of all of them, and this fragrance has bergamot, there's black pepper, there's vanilla orchid, there's I think jasmine in this, of course there's vanilla in this, there's amber, there's sandalwood. It's Mixed Bars Vanilla Bourbon. I freaking love this, and I recently got the perfume oil. They have this in a perfume oil now. One of my subbies let me know in one other video, and I got it maybe the next day I picked it up. Okay, so this is vanilla bourbon. Absolutely love this. The dry down is so pretty and creamy. I use this a lot to mix with other fragrances, and I totally got my money worth. It's only about $20 for this, but I think this is another one of those vanillas that you kind of want in your collection. It's a great fragrance to layer with, and it does smell good all on its own. It's such a creamy, soft, cozy vanilla that I love, and the fact that I now have it in the perfume oil, please thank you for recommending it, girl. And I went and got it because I had no idea they had this in the perfume oil. All right, Kitty, so that was my list of my most worn fragrances, my fragrances that have the biggest dent in them. And that tells you a lot because I have quite a few. I don't have the biggest collection. I really do feel like I have a realistic collection of perfumes. Now, is it going to grow? It probably is going to grow a little bit, but I do have this ledge that I use to gauge how much fragrances I need to have in this house. Because if it can't fit on the ledge, girl, I'm not buying it. One of these are going to have to finish so I can get a new one, and by the looks of things, a couple of them are on its way out. So you guys are going to be seeing some new perfumes, not a ton at a time because it's never going to be overwhelming, but I have a few here and there to show you guys. Hopefully if you like the video, you've already clicked that like button, you've already subscribed, and you're already ready to go watch another video. You can binge watch, like do all the things, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to leave your most worn fragrances down in the comments because I like to read those, and so does everyone else, okay? Bye, guys.